Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. With the rerun of the Geo Archon Zhongli, many of us will be farming the Geo Hypostasis to get the ascension materials for him. Geo Hypostasis can seem like a very annoying boss, but once you get its attack pattern down, it's pretty easy with the right party. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the fight against this big rock easier and which characters I like to use. So now let's go hit some rocks and prepare for the homecoming of our Geo Daddy. Step number 1 is to choose your party. Choose your favorite main DPS. This will be the character who will unleash their burst skills and attack once the hypostasis is vulnerable. Their element doesn't really matter, but make sure they hit hard since you have a limited time window. Use supports that reduce running stamina or increase movement speed. This is my preference when battling the hypostasis since they jump around so much. The rest is up to you. Bring a healer, an attack buffer, or a secondary DPS. You also need to bring a Claymore to break the Geo constructs. The Geo Hypostasis creates pillars and sits on top of them. For my party, I bring Ayaka as my main DPS because she consistently just hits so hard with her entire kit. I bring Kazuha for sprinting stamina reduction, and also his skill can help you avoid certain attacks. Kaya also has stamina reduction. I bring Bennett because he can heal and buff my team, and also I can switch to him if I can't avoid an attack since he can take a hit. I had some trouble figuring out which Claymore user to bring since I didn't have any that were leveled enough. I ended up doing some testing to see if any were more efficient at this battle, and we'll go over this in the next section. This is probably the most important piece to defeating this boss. You absolutely need a Claymore wielding character to make this fight easier. Don't worry if you haven't built one. They don't need to be leveled, and their weapon level doesn't even matter from what I found. Any Claymore character will do, but if you're wondering if some are better than others, my answer is yes from my experience. I did some testing between Beidou, Noelle, and Razor, and I found that Noelle and Razor work best at destroying Geo constructs as far as 4-star characters go. For some reason, these two are able to break Geo constructs in less hits than the others. As you can see here, I first tested out ores using Beidou, Sayu, and Xinyang. They all take 4 hits to destroy the ores. Noelle and Razor can do it in 3. I don't have Chong Yun, so I can't compare him, but if anyone has used him for this fight, let me know how he does. Since Beidou and Sayu can break the ores in the same amount of hits, I just chose Beidou to use for the boss fight. Although Beidou does okay, she will make the fight take longer because she needs to hit more times to break the pillars. Also, I found her a bit clumsy to attack with. For some reason, Beidou's auto attacks are harder to control and seem a bit wonky. She'll start hitting something else besides what I'm trying to hit. Next, I tried out Noelle. I found that my level 26 Noelle with a level 1 weapon can outperform level 56 Beidou. I haven't leveled their normal attacks at all. They're all at level 1 for all of these units. Razor was a very popular DPS when the game first came out. When I started, his popularity had already dropped down, but he was considered the best 4-star DPS in the game at that time. Razor also has the advantage in that holding his elemental skill will do even more damage to a Geo construct, and his burst can also increase his attack speed. So I wanted to try out how he will do. I battled with the three of them, and in my opinion, Razor is just a little bit more comfortable to play than Noelle, even though they both break the pillars in the same amount of hits. So I would recommend using Razor over Noelle if you have him. If you don't have him, it's okay. Everyone has Noelle, so just use her and you will do just fine. Don't think that you have to go level a Claymore user and their weapon and their talents just for this fight. Once you have your party ready, go up to the boss and aggro him, and then run back. He's going to summon his pillars right away and sit on top of them. He's invulnerable while sitting on the pillars, so attacking won't do any damage. Start attacking the pillars right away with your Claymore, but don't break it, just get it down to low HP, I guess we'll call it. Do this for all the pillars while avoiding attacks. His attack pattern goes like this. The pillar will start pulsating and eventually release a small shockwave which will damage you. When you start seeing it pulsate, run away or swap off to a character that can take a hit, then swap back and keep working on the pillar. It doesn't do a ton of damage. You can see here I swap off to Bennett and he tanks it just fine. Or if you have Kazuha, jump up into the air using his skill to avoid the hit. You just need to time it. The next attack is a targeting attack. You'll see a ring form around your character. Once you see this ring, time it and dodge at the last moment to avoid getting hit. It takes some practice, but you can do it. Next, the Hypostasis will throw rocks at you. You can just run to avoid this or stand behind one of its pillars and it will actually help you damage the pillar. Then there's the Earthquake. This is a bit trickier and it will kill you, so you need to avoid getting hit. Once you see this yellow cube forming next to the pillar the Hypostasis is on, break it as fast as you can. This will create a dome that will shield you from the damage. Otherwise, run away as far as you can while still staying in battle mode. I prefer to break the cube because running and waiting for the attack to finish makes the battle longer. And keep in mind you also might still get hit while running. Once you have the pillars down to a low HP, just break whichever one the Hypostasis jumps to and start your attacks. When the Hypostasis is down to low HP, it will summon more pillars which you need to break in order to stop it from healing itself. If it does manage to revive itself, you must repeat the entire process of breaking the pillars and attacking the Hypostasis again. So far, I've only been able to break 2 of the 3 pillars using Noelle and Razor. Beidou can only break 1 at a time, which means going through this pattern 3 times in total. Hence why I recommend using Noelle or Razor. Note that if you break all the pillars the Hypostasis can jump to during the battle, it may stay on the ground and do different kinds of attacks, but it is more running around to avoid attacks and waiting for the vulnerable window. So I prefer to just let it sit on the pillars and drop him down. And that pretty much is it for defeating the Geo Hypostasis. Now that you know how to defeat this boss, which characters are you gathering material for? Let me know in the comments how it went for you or if you think I missed anything. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I'll end it with some footage of my level 20 Razor taking on the level 83 Geo Hypostasis. See you next time. Bye bye.
Off we go!
Into the wind! One with nature! Time to go.